On today's episode of Wine and Real Estate TV, we're here with MaryLou Dingman from the Wilson Realty Group.
Hi.
Our topic is the dirty little secret of open houses, and also how you need to act, your open house etiquette when you go visit an open house.
Juicy stuff.
Juicy
and a lot
stuff
to talk about.
Absolutely. Hello, it's Chris Morton with another episode of Wine and Real Estate TV. Here today with us is MaryLou Dingman from the Wilson Realty Group with Keller Williams Preferred Realty. MaryLou, thank you so much for joining us today.
I am very excited to be here. This is a topic that I love.
I as well.
And
you and I
too.
are both passionate about this topic. The topic
Yes.
is open houses and the dirty little secret of open houses. Also, we're going to get into how you need to act when you go visit an open house. So, MaryLou, the dirty little secret of open houses, and that is you the public will hear, no reason to have an open house if you're selling your house because only thing that realtors are doing at the open house is trying to get business. That's not true, MaryLou.
No, it's not. It's not. You can sell that house, which is a great, awesome opportunity for you to get more exposure for that
Right.
house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've sold, I look back on the last couple of years, I've either directly sold or I've influenced an agent that has sold the house I was sitting in on just about every single house I've sat in the last 2 years. I know you're a big proponent of open houses, and it's probably happened to you as well.
Yes. And I've actually had agents who were doing showings while I was there.
Right, yeah.
And because I was there to help answer some of the questions, you know, being an ambassador for getting that home sold, it actually was something that came together very quickly.
Right.
And when it's good for the whole team, it benefits us all.
Absolutely. So, again, if you're thinking of selling your home, open house is definitely something to do. I always say, one of my little sayings is, the first showing that a house has is at 11 o'clock at night. And you're in your pajamas and you're just going through all the different houses. And we talked with my photographer about that. Without great photography, your house is not going to show up. Well, the next step after that is
You come to an open house.
you come to an open house.
Well, and you research all those homes online. And that's the thing, is there's such a difference between actually being in a home and looking at it online.
Totally.
There's a big difference.
I 100% agree with you. And so that open house is going to help you narrow down that neighborhood, going to help you narrow down that house. And you may end up saying, you know what, we don't need to look any further. We found the house.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The other problem we're having lately is houses are selling so quickly that you probably need to go to that open house the first weekend if you're interested in buying that house.
That is very true. That is a problem too. And it's like Disney World.
Right.
There's all kind of, you know, people coming through.
Right.
And a lot of it is curious neighbors sometimes, which is good.
Love curious neighbors.
Yeah. And they can actually, you can maybe meet your future neighbors if you're there touring an open house.
Right.
And you see the neighbors next door and they tell you a little bit about the neighborhood.
Right. And
which is good.
I always encourage neighbors to come to open houses because, number one, they may decide they want to sell. They may be interviewing agents and they may be interviewing us to help them sell their house. But most importantly, they probably know someone that they are good friends with that want to be in the neighborhood and that they would like to be neighbors with that they could bring to the open house. So I always encourage neighbors to come.
And I have a lot of neighbors stop by, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, always
100%.
a good thing.
So we've talked a little bit about how it's good for sellers, also good for buyers. They have the opportunity to sort of go to like a buffet of houses if there's a lot of open houses going on and see a bunch of stuff all at one time, which is a great way to go about doing things and get a feel for things.
Well, and the thing is that every open house is going to be different.
Right.
Because every agent that's holding the open house is going to be very different as well.
Right. 100% agree with you there. Which segues into how you need to treat the agent when you go to the open house. We've both been victims of people coming to the open house thinking that we're going to eat them. Generally,
not true.
Not true.
Unless I'm really hungry.
Right. I was going to say, generally ahead of time, I've had a little something to eat so that I'm not going to resort to cannibalism.
Yes, me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't be afraid that we're going to eat you or force you to buy the house or force you to be a client of ours. If you, the first step obviously is sign in. Explain why we ask them to sign in.
Well, you know, there are a lot of security issues that happen in this day and time, and it is really important. And the seller does like to have a record of who comes into their house.
Right.
And especially if it's a very busy, popular open house, believe it or not, there can be things that disappear, and that's That's kind of one of the dirty sides of it as well. It does happen though.
It does. You and I both sit at the front, at the very front. I sit at a little table at the front of the house and greet everyone. I do that just so I get the opportunity to say hello, but also to make sure nothing walks out the door.
Yes. I like to be on the front porch.
Yes.
That's where I like to start. Right.
Same effect.
Exactly.
So if you have if you're selling your home now and you have another agent, encourage them to do open house, but to sit on the porch or to sit at the front door, and you'll solve a lot of that security issue.
Well, and I think too, have you ever had anybody ring a doorbell when you're doing
Yes,
an open
it's
house?
like, okay, I specialize in 85 lime green signs going up the street and in the
it's
yard.
Like open house, open
and
house.
Balloons, and I even have open house tent on my car. It says open house, and people still ring the bell. It's like, you don't have to ring the bell. Come on in.
Come in, walk in, make yourself comfortable.
Right, 100% agree. So we asked you to sign in. If you're working with someone, let us know.
Please let us know.
Yes, we are not going to eat you. We want to help you to get that house sold and maybe explain some of the positives of that house so that you may fall in love with it. Call your agent and set up an appointment.
Yes. It is also helpful if you can tell us your agent's name.
Right.
Because if you do love the home, then let's say you do decide to make an offer on that home, then that's going to trigger that realization that you were at the open house and that you're being represented by your agent, and that's even more proof that open houses work. And
we can certainly send on the addendums and documents that agent's going to need to write up an offer. We can go ahead and send it on to them. So.
Yes.
Conversely, if you are not represented by an agent, don't feel like you have to lie to us. You're more than welcome to say, not represented, not interested in talking to you, da 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 da. Or you may want to just talk to us and learn about us. We're both very nice people, and we could very well help you buy your next house. Interview us, feel free.
Yeah, exactly. I meet a lot of my buyers at open houses.
Right.
And
same here.
If I have the opportunity, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help the seller get the home sold, and I'm also here to help any buyers that need my help.
Right.
So it could be a win-win. You could have meant to have walked in the door and meet either Chris or myself.
Right.
And for us to be your agent. And we'd love to.
It happens often.
It does.
The other positive about it is we know something about that neighborhood. We know something about that house. I actually had an agent, and this is a true story, who showed one of my listings in Bedford. If anybody knows Bedford in North Raleigh, big, giant 1,800 house neighborhood, pool, clubhouse, whole 9 yards. They liked their feedback was buyer-like neighborhood, but didn't like the fact that there was no pool or amenities. Well, had they come to the open house, I would have told them all about it, and they would have gone and found it, and I'd have given them directions to it. So it's good to come to open houses and talk with the agent, because they're going to help you learn some stuff about it.
Well, and saying that Bedford has a pool is kind of an understatement.
Yeah, it is very funny that
would
be an issue.
I have been on the slide, on the water slide.
Mount Gushmore.
I'm sure there are plenty of adults that have done Mount Gushmore.
I have indeed.
I used to live in Bedford.
I used to live in Bedford as well. Anything else that we need to talk about this subject to people that I've maybe forgotten as we've been sitting here?
Well, let's talk about maybe if you have comments or constructive things that you want to say about the home.
Good point.
Yeah. There are things that can be very helpful to the seller.
Right. Huge.
Yeah.
I have a feedback form that I ask everyone to fill out for that very reason, and it really has been very good to be able to say, hey, they think that the paint color in that room needs to be repainted. And you can give them feedback that said 10 people said that today.
Yes. On the same hand, you do want to be careful about what you say. Sure. Especially if you are working with an agent, or if you think you might not want to work with us, we are there helping the seller get that home sold, so you do have to be careful. As
well, you might be in a room with some people in another family in the room and say how horrible the house is and yada yada. You don't know that that's not their best friend's the next door neighbor, so you might want to just kind of keep it to yourself. And certainly if you want to talk to us, feel free. We're here to help. But I think probably keep a lot of your opinions of QT.
Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely right. Well, thank you for your time on this subject today. Before I forget, we're in one of y'all's listings, Wilson Realty Group's listings. Tell us a little bit about this house really quickly, and we'll take some pictures and add that in here.
Yes, this is a beautiful house. In fact, I have 2 clients that I have worked with that are under contract on beautiful homes, not this particular home. that I met at this house.
Wow.
This home is built by Kevin Wilkinson. He is a custom builder with Land and Construction.
Okay, yeah.
And he mainly focuses on the Wake Forest and heritage area. Fantastic builder.
So we're up in North Wake Forest area.
Yeah, we're like you can see the Franklin County line out from 401.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You can.
It's a beautiful house, so we'll definitely show some pictures of his work. He's amazing craftsmanship. Very, very impressed with it. So thank you for allowing us to be here today to film this. Appreciate it. Well, we've reached that point of the show where we drink wine. We are Wine and Real Estate TV.
I know, I was wondering when that was coming.
I always put it at the end because if we do it at the beginning, then the end gets a little bit loopy.
Yeah, that's true.
Indeed. So, MaryLou, as tradition, I always ask the guests what kind of wine you like, what kind of wine, MaryLou sent me a label of a bottle that I wasn't able to find. So I hunted and pecked and looked around and found a bottle that we both agreed is good.
Yeah.
It's called Donata Cellars. They're from Chile. It's about $10. Got it at Trader Joe's. Most people are a little scared of like supermarket wines. Trader Joe's is a little different.
Yeah,
They've got
Trader
some different
Joe's.
stuff.
They're awesome.
And the reason I went to Trader Joe's is because she said the wine she liked was from Trader Joe's. We may end up finding out later that it wasn't from Trader Joe's.
Yes.
But it's all good. So we found something that we both like. It's 75% Carmenere. It's 15 Malbec, 5 Syrah, and 5 Cabernet Sauvignon. That's a strange blend. But
it works.
Definitely works. It's very unique. So Carmenere, for those that don't know, is sort of, it's of the same family as a Cabernet Sauvignon, but it's more of a medium body grape, medium body wine, a little bit minerally, a little bit spicy. And I think between that and the Malbec and the Syrah kind of cools it off a little bit.
Yep, I think so.
It definitely gives it a little bit of a funky thing. So highly recommend. It's around $9 a bottle, which is not bad. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Feel free to give your opinion to everyone. Cheers, absolutely.
To open houses.
To open houses. Very good. It's like spicy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say probably like burgers and like filet mignon. I mean, like ribeye, something like that.
Yeah.
Or by itself.
Yeah. Which obviously we're doing right now.
Yes, and
it's totally fine.
I will probably be doing tonight. So anyway,
it's good.
If you would please let everyone know how they can find you and how they can find the Wilson Realty Group, Ashley, and any contact info you want to share.
Okay, so my phone number is 919-796-7512, and our webpage is RaleighRealEstate411.com. And I'm very blessed because I work on one of the top real estate agent teams in the Triangle, and Ashley's a great leader.
Great lady.
We love our team, and we love what we do.
Absolutely. They will definitely take very, very good care of you.
And as will Chris. He's awesome. Chris and I have known each other for a long time.
Since the earth was cooling, MaryLou and I have known each other. It's been quite a while. For further episodes of this show, thank you all, as always, for watching. But for further episodes of this show, go to Wine and Real Estate TV. The website is wineandre.com, spelled as always, WINEANDRE.com. Thank you all so much for viewing. And MaryLou, cheers.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Yay.